Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Recently I was starting to feel a little lonely, so a friend recommended I start a small business. That way I could have a little company. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Moonrakers Nomad expansion from 4 Studio.
We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review.
Nomad is an expansion to Moonrakers from 4 Studio, and it brings a lot more stuff to your game of Moonrakers. First of all, you replace the dispatch board with the navigation board. Now, the navigation board actually has a map of 4 different colored sectors on it. Now, in addition to the ships that you place kind of on the prestige track, you're also going to put colored ships in the base in the center of the navigation board. So you've got the navigation board in the center with the 4 sectors around it. You also kind of have the uncharted territory, I can't remember what it is, up at the top, but you have a contract on there. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take the various contracts that you have, you're going to separate them by color, and you're going to place them on the board, next to the board to the various sectors. So when you go to the various sectors, you'll know what kinds of contracts you're going to try to get. Now, additionally, next to that kind of uncharted territory up there, you're going to place the Sorelia ship parts. Now, these are unique ship parts that you can only get once that part of the board has been accessed. Now, all parts of the board are adjacent to the base in the center and to the uncharted territory, the anomaly contract at the top of the board. Something else that this expansion brings to your game are events. Essentially, you have an event deck, and at the beginning of every player's turn, they're going to reveal an event. Now, these events can affect gameplay in various ways. They can cause problems for some players or help some players. There's all sorts of things they can do, and critically, they may also involve policies. And if there is a policy, then the players can vote on the policies, whether or not they want those policies to pass or fail. Voting on these policies takes place through a simultaneous thumbs up, thumbs down system. Now, if a player wants to ally with other players on a contract, he can only ally with players who are adjacent to his location. That means, of course, the sectors that are directly adjacent, but also the base is adjacent, and also the anomaly is also adjacent. If a player decides they are going to ally, they must travel to that sector in order to take part in that alliance. At the beginning of every player's turn, they have to move. They cannot stay in the same sector. Now, at one point, one of the players may go to the anomaly and may attempt to fulfill that contract. Again, they can draw allies from anywhere on the board, and they can all participate to open that up. If they open that up, then suddenly there will be the possibility of gaining the Sorelia ship parts in the game. So that is basically what you are getting with this expansion. There's a few other little rules here and there on purchases and whatnot, but essentially this is how the game is played. It's not a huge departure from the base game in a lot of respects, and yet in other ways it is. In the base game, of course, you just have the 8 contracts. You can pick a contract. You can try to get through it. Here, the contracts are face down. You only know what's going to happen when you go to the specific sector. Now, I should point out, when you go to a sector, you actually draw 3 of the contracts, put the 3 contracts down, and you can choose which contract you want to go after. At that point, the game plays out very similarly to regular Moonrakers. You're attempting to form alliances in order to help you defeat those contracts or complete those contracts. And again, you have to negotiate for all the goodies and the hazards on those individual contracts. So I have to tell you, it was funny because we played this one, we liked it, and then I played another game without it. And I really missed the event cards. I thought the event cards were really a lot of fun. I really like that aspect of the game quite a bit. I think every turn it just mixes it up enough, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that aspect. The Sector 2 is kind of fun. I like the way it mixes up how you do contracts or how you find contracts. It's not just 8 out there, you grab one. I like that you do go to that sector, you draw 3, you decide which one you're doing. I think that was a fun, it kind of added a fun little bit there. And then, of course, when you go to the anomaly and you can complete that contract and go there again to try to get the Solaria ship parts, which are very powerful, very interesting. I like that. As I recall, I don't think there are any new crew cards here. I was disappointed there because the base game does not have enough crew cards. And that's one of the things I liked about, some of the other expansions, that they have crew cards. And this one doesn't. And so I almost think if I were to play this again, because I've just played through the Nomad the one time. If I was going to play it again, I would definitely play it in conjunction, I think, with Overload or something, so that there are those options there. But in any event, I did enjoy this. I thought it was a really fun expansion. I did not like it as much as Overload, generally speaking. I thought Overload with the advanced action cards was just phenomenal, and the head-to-head contracts was really good. Nomad is great. I really liked it, but I liked Overload better. I would probably give this one an 8 on the Cody scale of 1 to 10. I'd probably give this one an 8, but it was a lot of fun. I would say, I guess, if you don't have an expansion and you're looking to get one, I would recommend Overload first, but probably Nomad after that. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, I ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. I'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd ask you to give us a like on all of these platforms as well. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do like history, if you like books on history, those sorts of things, I'd humbly ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about those things. Please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if you really do appreciate the content we bring you here on the channel, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. People are just too judgmental these days. I can tell just by looking at them.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Oh, dude, you're so gonna like this card.
Yes.
Cloaking device.
Almost